Hey my beautiful Sagittarius peeps, what's going on everybody? It's Ann from Cancer Moon's Tarot and I'm coming at you with your July 2023 tarot reading. How are you? I hope all is well. I just want to mention before we start, if you're interested in personal readings, products, and so much more, feel free to check out my website, cancermoonstarot.com. You'll find all that information in the first link in the description below. But Team Sagittarius, let's see what's going on here for you regarding July 2023. What do we got in store here for Team Sagittarius? Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus throughout July 2023. What's going to be showing up here, please, for our lovely Sagittarius gang? Let's go ahead and check it out. Starting out here with the overall energy for you. We do have here a Nine of Swords, having a look at the current energy, King of Pentacles, what you're dealing with here, Three of Swords, and then the outcome for you, well, the current outcome, Eight of Wands. Wow. So Sagittarius, it feels like coming into the month of July here with the Nine of Swords to the King of Pentacles is that you're kind of masking your feelings and emotions at this time. You know, King of Pentacles is somebody who's kind of presenting themselves as they're grounded, everything's okay. But when you look at the overall energy here being the Nine of Swords is a card here that represents that you're kind of going through it a little bit. You're going through the ringer at this moment in time. 3:33 p.m. right now as I'm filming this. Maybe 333 means something specific to you, but speaking of threes, looking at what you're dealing with here, Three of Swords. And Three of Swords is a card that represents pain. It could be a card of heartbreak. It could be a card here of just genuinely feeling like you have gone through so much to the point where it's like, I'm exhausted, you know? And as you can see, even kind of in the depiction of the picture here with the woman here, she looks very exhausted. She looks like she's kind of just done with everything she's experienced here at this time. What I like a lot about the read, right, is when we look at the current outcome, Eight of Wands, a transformation's not so far away. A transformation is most certainly coming, but it does feel to me here that you've kind of been masking your feelings for a while. It's like you've been going through what you've been going through on your own. I feel like other people haven't really been aware of what you've been experiencing, and maybe you've kind of wanted it that way. Not wanting to show up or present yourself like you've been dealing with a lot because you want people to know you're okay or to take comfort in the fact that you're okay, but I think it's been a little bit of a rough ride here, guys. And it's okay to not be okay. 222 on my recording screen right now. 333-222. Angel numbers are showing up here for you guys. But yeah, I get that feeling, man, where it's like, I gotta let you know it's okay to not be okay. You don't have to have yourself together. You don't have to worry about other people judging you if you're not okay. And if people do judge you for not being okay, Sagittarius, those are not the right people for you. I'm gonna let you know that flat out. If people judge you for not feeling like everything is all good and well, then those are not great people that you should surround yourself with in the first place. But I think you've been trying to be happy. You've been trying to be positive, but it's been difficult. Let's have a look at the challenge. Coming up in your challenge position, your emotions for sure. We got here the Moon card. It's been a very emotionally challenging time. Let's get some insight into that. You know, what's been super emotionally challenging here for Sagittarius overall? Got a couple cards flying out. We got the Four of Wands. We got here the Nine of Wands. We have the King of Swords. We have the Two of Swords. I feel like communicating, because Nine of Wands is the energy of the wounded warrior. It's also the energy, though, of like not opening up, right? So you're staying very closed off. You are bottling up your feelings and emotions. Four of Wands represents, you know, your environment, like your family, your friends. You haven't been telling anybody anything, which has been the major challenge. You know, King of Swords, you've been presenting yourself as if everything is fine. Two of Swords, you've debated whether or not you want to open up and unbottle your feelings and emotions, but you haven't. Why has Sagittarius been so held back on opening up? The Tower. Because opening up makes it real. Opening up makes you recognize that I'm not in a stable place in my life. And with that being said, I have to kind of confront what it is I'm going through. And I think that maybe you've been in a space where you've wanted to lack confrontation because confrontation makes it real. Oh, baby, Sagittarius, we're going there, man. We're getting deep. And I feel you, though. I've been there before in my life, not wanting to confront the situation at hand because it makes the whole entire situation real. And it's a scary feeling, but it might not be as scary as you think. Believe it or not, guys, it really might not be as scary as you think. I remember when I had to confront certain feelings about something I was going through, I was terrified to confront it. So I would deal with it, but I would just show up as everything's fine, you know? There's no problem in the world. There were lots of problems in my life. And when I showed up to myself and I was honest with myself and I was honest with people around me about what I was going through, the confrontation wasn't that bad. And when you can confront it and really start to work on it, look at that, the Ace of Wands just fell out, right? When you can confront it and really start to work on it, you can start to change your circumstances and your reality. You can have a new beginning here, Sagittarius, once you decide to kind of accept that this is where I'm at. Now let's look at the options of what I can do to go forward in a positive way. And you have loving and supporting people in your life, I'm sure, and those people would want to be there to help you and guide you in any way that they probably can, right? So I feel like this is definitely going to be a pretty eye-opening month to the fact that maybe confrontation isn't all that scary with the Tower. And I think that you guys just need reassurance that everything's going to be okay. You know, sometimes with Tower moments in our lives, we kind of tend to feel like we're never going to recover from this, or we're never going to, you know, be okay after this situation. You know, once we admit it, once it's real, it's going to be a real rough ride. You know, sometimes circumstances can feel like they're going to ruin everything. But sometimes, because you're so used to experiencing what you've been experiencing and you're so used to feeling like it's going to be the end of the world, you're going to expect it to be the end of the world. But I think you'll be quite surprised, is what I keep mentioning to you guys. You'll be quite surprised at how not bad it is to confront the demons and slay them. And especially confronting these demons and talking about it with people that love and care for you, it's going to be so much easier to have a team of people supporting you and help you guys out with whatever you're dealing with as well. Now, I know this won't resonate to every Sag out there. There might be tons of Sagittarians watching like, Anthony, I'm good. Like, what are you talking about? You know, if it's not your story, it's not your story. But if I'm hitting the spot for you right now, if I'm resonating with you, I want you guys to know that it's all going to be okay. It always turns out okay. You know, every time you've had a hard or difficult moment in your life, what's happened? You've overcome it, right? So the universe doesn't throw anything at you that you cannot handle. You've never experienced anything in your life that you cannot handle because you're still here today. And that's the important part. Okay? Let's go ahead and move forward, all right? We're going to have a look here and see what the rest of July has for you. So what's the rest of July looking like here for Sagittarius? And we have here the Magician. Magician being the card here of manifestation. You know, what it is you perceive tends to be your reality, right? So if the Tower to you, confronting what you're going through, feels like it's going to be the end of the world, it'll show up, Magician card, as if it's the end of the world. But if you really talk to yourself and you're like, you know what, it's not going to be that bad. If you start to get yourself to believe that it's going to be okay, you're going to see that it turns out being all right. It turns out being okay. Your perception is everything. Your perception is your reality. And Sagittarius, if you allow yourself to attune to the fact that everything will be all right, and if you really hone in on that and believe it, you're going to really start to see that. So the rest of July is going to be what you make of it, is what I'm pretty much picking up on here with the Magician card. It's like, it's going to be what you make of it. It's going to be what you show up in, what kind of energy. You know, are you going to look at this as a positive, a win, or are you going to look at this as a negative? Are you going to look at kind of the Tower as, this is it, this is the end, you know, which is totally further from the end. You know, this is not the end, guys. All right, but the rest of July is what you make of it, and I strongly urge you guys to look at it in a positive perception and have a little bit of faith and trust the process, and just know that you're going to be fine, because you will be. All right, guys? All right, Sagittarius, let's have a look here at the overall outcome for you. Sorry for such an intense reading, guys. I mean, if you need it, you need it, right? If it's your story, you need it, this message. But I'm trying to be a little bit more lighthearted, or as lighthearted as I can be. All right, but having a look here at the overall outcome, Page of Pentacles showing up here for you. I'm hearing you're going to try. And I think you mean that. I do. You know, this is the energy of like, I'm going to try, Ant. I'm really going to try here to be okay and to confront my demons. And I'm going to try to reach out to other people. I'm going to try to not be stuck with all this energy and bear the weight of the universe by myself, right? Don't bear burdens when other people can help you carry them. So I feel like you're going to try here at the end of the day, coming into the month of July. And you know what? Effort's important, and effort means something. And just trying, I think, is going to grant you success here too. Let's have a look and see what the most important message is going to be here. What's going to be the most important message for Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus throughout July 2023? What's going to be the most important message here for Sag? We have here the Four Swords. We have the Three of Wands. And we have here the Three of Cups, followed up with the Chariot. Yeah, it's like if you want to move forward, you can't hold back anymore. If you want to move forward, you can't continue to hold on to all this pain, guys. There needs to be a moment of release. There needs to be confrontation. You know, what I usually say in terms of healing is that the first step is acceptance, right? Accepting where you're at and being okay with where you're at, and then you can do something about where you're at, you know? But the first step of healing naturally tends to start with acceptance. You know, I feel like despite what you were dealing with, you would always show up like, I'm fine, everything's okay. You would show up in a very copacetic energy. But at the end of the day, if you're going to be real raw and honest with yourself and real raw and honest with other people, it's the first step to make a change. So 4 of Swords, 3 of Wands, 3 of Cups, and the Chariot, if you want to get to that point where you can be happy, it's going to really start to take accepting where you're at and then figuring out the next step about what to do to get to where you want to go. And if you can't figure that out on your own at this time, it is okay to ask other people. It's okay to reach out and ask for help. Okay? I want to mention that as well. I think sometimes we all feel like we have to do everything all on our own, you know? We feel like we have to bear all our burdens by ourselves and fix all our problems and find all our solutions, but sometimes that's not always the case. Sometimes it really is worth reaching out to somebody else, especially somebody who can help too. You know, maybe a friend who has really good advice, maybe even a therapist for some people, if that's something that you feel like would really benefit you, right? No judgment at all, by the way. I know that sometimes people hear therapy and they're like, whoa, what are you talking about? I'm not crazy. And it's like, crazy people don't go to therapy. Actually, the most sane people go to therapy because they're doing their best to work through their stuff, right? So that's something to mention here too. All right, guys, let's go ahead and have a look here and just see some advice from the universe, and then we'll close out your reading. So what is going to be the best advice from the universe for Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus throughout July 2023? We had the Hierophant come out, we have the 10 of Cups coming out, and we have here the Ace of Cups. Yeah, absolutely. I feel like this is going to be a great time to let other people be a good shoulder to cry on. You know, I really feel like family, if you have great family that is super supportive of you, it's going to be a great time to, you know, come to them and, you know, let them know what's going on. But whoever you love in your life, whoever you care for, there are people who are totally devoted to you, is what the universe is trying to say. There are tons of people who are totally devoted to you, that want to take care of you, that want to help you, and that want to be here for you in your time of difficulty. And they want to see you live the best life you can. And I think that reaching out is going to be super important. So the universe says, don't be afraid to reach out here, guys, because it's really going to make a difference for you. Okay? All right, Saggy. Is there any other messages that Sagittarius needs to hear? Anything at all? That'll be a great navigation or guide for this month. We have here the 4 of Cups. And we have here the Judgment. Yeah, don't ignore the message that I'm giving you. It's pretty much what I just got here for you. 4 of Cups here to the Judgment. Don't ignore the message that I got you. Don't ignore this reading, okay? But instead, give what I've talked about a chance. Give this reading a chance. Give yourself a chance here to open up and decompress after, even for some of you, years worth of stuff that you've been bottling up. It's time to unbottle yourself and let it out, guys. Take it from a person who's bottled up so much for years. And at the age of 17, 18, when I finally started decompressing, and I know that's young, but I've gone through a lot from like ages of 12 to 18. So being able to unbottle all that, decompress all that, it was a lot for me to handle. But it was easier, you know, being around friends and family. And it was easier being able to try to have a positive perspective. It was easier to recognize that I've gotten through every battle I've ever fought before in my life. So if I've overcame everything, I could overcome that, and I did. So trust the process, believe you can do it, and always know, guys, it all will be all right. It's always going to turn out okay. No matter how dire and intense the situation seems at first, it'll be all right, and your circumstances will change, okay? All right, guys, Sagittarius, I know it was a deep read. If it's not your story, absolutely no worries, but I appreciate everybody coming in here nonetheless, and I hope it helped out for anybody. I really do, if you're watching this video. But I love you guys dearly. Have a great rest of your day. Have a great rest of your July. If you are new here, do consider subscribing to the channel. I'd be more than happy to welcome you here into the Soul family. And of course, if you're interested in a personal reading, you can find my information in the first link in the description below. I can book you on my website. But Sagittarians, have a lovely July. Feel better. And I will catch you guys in the next video, okay? Much love, and have yourselves a good one, baby. Peace.